Marketing Zen CEO, Shama Hyder, and, of course, Dagan Vidal. Dagan, ended with you. I don't see a lot of new here.
There isn't that much, and quite frankly, Apple is waiting, Neil, until the 10th anniversary of the iPhone to kind of really unveil a new phone. But this is the expectation. They do a redesign every 2 years, and quite frankly, Apple's got to do something to juice sales. Revenue from the iPhone down 23% in the most recent quarter. Unit sales are only expected to grow 5%. Here's the upside for Apple. People are holding their phones, owning their phones for longer, so there are about 275 million phones out there that are older than the 6, which came out 2 years ago. So some people are going to have to upgrade. And by the way, this is a 6, and it bends. This is my 6 one. I slammed it in the car door, and it bent, so that's another reason to upgrade it.
Okay, a little more information than I needed. But, Rick, here's it. Okay, you can help me with this, Rick. I'm wondering if this is going to seal the deal. Now, the one thing I think that's been going Apple's way is the misfortunes of its competitors. Samsung comes to mind, of course, with these Galaxy phones that are, blowing up. But is that enough? Is this going to be enough just to hold Apple loyalists in line for another year? Those to make the switch right now? What?
I think it's fine for holding Apple loyalists in line. I also think they're making a big deal out of the camera this time. If you look at their advertising, it's been very camera-oriented, and I think that'll be a big deal. By the way,
is that only on the larger
Yes,
model?
supposedly it's on the Plus.
Okay.
But I think that, this device that we all have, has turned into a camera. It's turned into the thing that manages our whole lives. And now the thing that I think people are forgetting is the watch. And the watch is going to get a lot better this fall. And when you add that in, you're beginning to see, that they're going to encompass our whole personal digital experience.
Okay, that sounds like pretty heady stuff, Shama, but what do you see happening after this? Is it just a placeholder, or are they benefiting timing-wise because Samsung has this problem with the, the Note 7 and it, exploding on some folks?
I think they're definitely benefiting. I think Apple's a very smart company. I think the challenge here, though, is bigger, and the bigger picture here is, can Apple really keep consumer trust, right? And that's where it gets tricky, because trust in this digital age is something that has to be constantly earned. It's not a given. So Apple's a company that's gotten very used to, very comfortable with, hey, we put something out there, people buy it, whether it's 2.0, whether it's an evolution or revolution, and this changes the game. I mean, this is really going to be an interesting time to see, do people buy the smartwatch 2? Do people, pony up for the iPhone 7? What do their revenue numbers look like? And I think Apple's going to learn very quickly that they're going to have to up the ante, even if competitors are maybe a little behind now.
Dagan, I think you touched on at the outset that maybe what's happening with these smartphones generically is what happened to people who bought computers. And remember, we went to a 386 and a 46 and a Pentium, and we waited for the new model. Now, of course, people hang on to their desktops longer if they even have them anymore. And we might be doing the same to smartphones, unless it's so revolutionary, as this appears at this point not to be, but I could be wrong. No, and they're holding off. What do you think?
No, you're absolutely right. The evidence bears that out, that people are owning these iPhones longer. And one of the reasons is because you get the automatic operating system upgrade. So you get a lot of the new features on a phone without actually having to go out and buy a new phone. One area of Apple's focus is this vehicle that it's trying to develop. In the shorter run, it's going to be focused on the corporate market and the iPad, because the iPad Pro, in the past quarter, about half the people who bought an iPad Pro were using it for work. Apple has partnerships with IBM and Cisco, for example, Neil. That's really where they're trying to at least get some revenue pickup if this isn't a hot seller.
It's one of the interesting things about the way people look at Apple is that, with most companies, we applaud them for diversifying. But in this case, we're penalizing Apple for, having a smaller percentage of its revenues attributable to the iPhone.
Well, because it's a declining beast, right?
But it's got other pieces rising. That's where I think the services revenue is increasing, and I think the watch will be a much bigger factor in the years ahead than it is now.
By the way,
hey, Neil,
Rick, I want to be let's clear on this. When you talk about services, that's like the software and other stuff that go with an iPhone or with let's say,
like,
an iMac, right?
It's like you're paying for cloud storage, you're paying for iMusic, that sort of thing.
Okay, Dagan, I'm sorry.
No, because it's your first week back, I just want to remind the viewers that you predicted the resurgence and power of Apple when the original iPod came out with the click wheel, because you made me do a package on him.
I did?
So I wanted to give you credit for that. Yes, you made me do a package on the halo effect and how this was the rebirth of Apple, and it was going to be a behemoth.
I remember that like it was yesterday.
I
do. Shama, finally, your thoughts. I didn't even remember that. But you know, a year from now, we keep being told that maybe something more dramatic, something for the 10-year anniversary, to Dagan's point. But that Apple itself is evolving in the meantime. Maybe it's this services thing, and maybe we're missing that. I don't know, but is there something what Rick is saying, that there's under the surface there is this sort of what IBM was enjoying, a services revenue that wasn't appreciated until much later?
Yeah, Apple has to diversify, right? It's the only way, because with hardware, there's only so much they can do given the technology that's available. And of course, Apple's ahead of the game, but even then, they're dependent on manufacturers, they're dependent on other factors. So I think with that being said, they are smart. They're looking at iTunes, they're looking at influencer deals, they are diversifying, and the enterprise play is a huge play. You know, we mentioned IBM and Cisco, but there's going to be a lot more. So it may come to it may come to pass that Apple is more in the enterprise game than the consumer game, which really would be a game changer.
All right, guys, I want to thank you all very, very much.